My palate is totally cleansed.
Time to wreck it with this Alpha Mosaic Double IPA. 8.5% ABV, it'll wreck that palate.
No, not my palate.
Coming at you live from the Sacramento Hive, I'm Josh.
And I'm John. Welcome to Local Beer.Buzz. We talk about those epic drinks that you want to drink, tell you which one is best. Today we're talking about Jackrabbit Brewing Company. They're located at 1323 Terminal Street in West Sacramento, California.
Wow, I'm feeling kind of jumpy today, so I think we can just kind of jump right into this one. First beer we're having today is Fever Dream Hazy IPA. 7%, this one is a big boy. I'm gonna pour this while John serenades you guys.
Today I'm going to talk about grading. We grade on a 5-point scale. The first is appearance, the second aroma, third is flavor, fourth is mouthfeel, and fifth is overall impression. Did we like this beer? We also rank the beer on a 6-point scale. From sandbag this beer, which is leave it behind, to would I tattoo this beer on my face, because it's that crazy good.
All right, let's take a look at this beer. This is that's a great color. It's pretty hazy.
Yeah, it's got a nice kind of golden yellow haze to it. But yeah, pretty good color, just like a golden hazy, really.
I can smell it from here.
Yeah, it definitely has a great aroma on it too.
It does. All right, speaking of aroma, let's really get a good whiff of this.
Oh. It just smells like...
pineapple, just straight pineapple.
I mean, I get pineapple too, but I definitely also get a lot of like kind of a, like almost like an overripe mango or papaya. If you've ever had a fruit salad and it sat out slightly too long, where you get that really tropical kind of overripe flavor,
yeah.
I mean, or smell, that's the aroma I'm getting off of this. It's just a huge, strong tropical aroma.
Yeah, it smells good.
It
smells like you curb stomped a mango, pineapple, and a peach. Just.
If you're ever up for curb stomping fruit, talk to Josh first.
It's the best way to eat your fruit.
Yeah,
right.
the aroma is basically crushable fruit right here, so we're going in.
Or would you say stompable fruit? That's stompable. That's good.
I definitely get the layers of tropical fruit in there. Like I said, it's got the pineapple character in it, though, is a little bit different though than previous beers, where I think previous hazies that I've had, like the pineapple character has been like a sweet pineapple. This is more like that kind of spicy, like not all the way ripe pineapple. And then you've got like layers of like mango and papaya in there that are really, really strong. And then a little bit of like orange and tangerine on the back of my tongue.
Yeah, I get that orange and tangerine. The tangerine is almost just like a little bit of resinous in a way. You know, I always find it so interesting how hops could create these just tropical fruit flavors. Because we're only using hops. There's nothing else in this. This is all hops. And, you know, as you've seen in, like, you know, this episode and previous episodes, we're tasting fruit. Like...
yeah, we're getting tons of fruit. It's sensory fruit. We're picking up the flavors and the smells of fruit, but there isn't actually any fruit in this beer. I mean, there are IPAs and there are ales where they do add fruit, or they add fruit juice too, but most hazies is just these really tropical new varieties of hops that are just packed full of flavor.
I do not see what hops are in this on the label or on the can. But I'm sure whatever's in this is delicious. Well, it's obviously delicious. But wow, this can, dude, that looks like a fever dream. That can art. It's like a...
Check out that can art. Fever Dream. Yes.
That's really cool. Check it out on Instagram. Their Instagram at Jackrabbit Brewing.
I mean, the finish on this is dry. And
very dry. It
actually kind of brings up more of that kind of like fruit flavor. A very crushable hazy IPA. I like this.
I really like this too. I found to grade this beer, man. Starting off strong, I'll give it a keg. I'd give myself a keg.
Yeah, a keg for me as well.
Alright. Man, I really enjoyed that that beer. The dryness of it, it had the dryness of a West Coast, but the flavor of a hazy. It was really good beer.
Yeah, it was really good. Jackrabbit is putting out some awesome beer right now. Be sure and check them out. The dryness of that almost kind of reminded me of something else dry that I like, an Irish Stout. So next we're going to try Irish Goodbye. It comes at 4.2% and it's from Jackrabbit Brewing as well.
Sweet.
And while I pour that beer, Josh has got some epic things to talk to you about.
I don't know if y'all have seen our recent video, but if you want to hear more about some good dry Irish stouts or just stouts in general, go a couple weeks back to our St. Patty's Day episode where we make car bombs out of local Irish stouts and an IPA. I highly recommend you watch it. We get tipsy for no other reason than for your entertainment. Please don't make us get tipsy for nothing.
Alright, so now we have that dry Irish Stout from Jackrabbit Brewing Company.
Let's check out this color. Looks very stouty.
Yes, super dark. That pitch black color like you want to see in a stout. The head on this is dark though.
Yeah, it's dark, which means they use chocolate malt.
Generally, a white head is preferred, but this still probably fits the category. I can already smell, since I popped this beer open, like just dark coffee everywhere.
That roasted malt.
I should mention that this can art is amazing. They're really, going out of their way to make some awesome stuff right now. Go ahead and take a gander. We've got what looks like a leprechaun skull. Pretty epic.
Split in half, I might add.
Split in half with a beer in the center.
That's pretty Viking of them.
And the smell on this right away is coffee mocha for me. That's what I'm
roasted
getting.
malts just all the way. It is so good.
It's so coffee. It's so creamy. It smells like a morning cup of Joe.
Yeah, it smells like the best coffee you've ever had. Let's taste it. Oh yeah, that is so dry. But that's honestly how I like my stouts.
Yeah, this is how a traditional stout should be. You want that dryness. You want that coffee all over, and that kind of like acidic kind of finish that the dark roasted malt gives you.
Yeah. Do you think there's any acidulated malts in this, or just the dark roasted malt? Because like I get a little bit more acidity than I think I would from just some roasted barley.
So generally, dark malts are acidic malts. So roasted barley is a very acidic malt. There are a lot of companies that actually do a brewing process where they will cold steep it and they'll add it later because they don't want the beer to be too acidic and too astringent. Some breweries do also add a malt called acid malt or acidulated malt, which is a malt that has either been soured or that has lactic acid on it. A brewery that is famous for doing this is actually Guinness.
Yeah.
Guinness used acidulated malt originally to give their beer more of a tang because there was a hop shortage at the time. Now they have plenty of hops, but because people love that flavor profile, they've continued to manufacture their beer that way and produce it that way.
There's a hop shortage. Hop famine, potato famine.
Lots of famines.
Yeah,
Yes.
especially for the Irish. Speaking of acidulated malts, I used them once in brewing, and Hop Hero told me to use them in my Guinness clone. It was a good move. Great advice because it definitely upped the game on that.
Yes, acidulated malt is one of the many malts available at Hop Hero Brewing Supply. Check them out at www.hophero.com. How would you rate this beer?
I got a 4-pack of it, to be honest. There is nothing spectacular about this beer. Like, it is a good dry Irish stout. Don't get me, it's good. It's good. But it's just, there's nothing spectacular about it. It's easy drinking. You get all the flavors you want it to, but it's a dry Irish stout. And not saying dry Irish stouts don't deserve a better rating. I'm just saying it's just, just kind of your typical dry Irish stout. No wow factor to it.
Boring.
I would say almost the same. Like, I think that this beer is definitely on point. It's exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to make a dry Irish stout for St. Patrick's Day. The can art is all about St. Patrick's Day. And you know, the beer is just a classic dry Irish stout. You know, it's perfect. I mean, me, myself, I like dry Irish stouts. I would say that this is a keggable beer for me.
You know, there are plenty of good dry Irish stouts out there. You got Guinness for one, you know? This is on, you know, this is as good as a Guinness. You know what I mean? Like, but it just like make it a little bit different. You know, it's a craft brewery. They have a lot more freedom.
Freedom!
Use it.
For me, a keg. Only because I've had so many dry Irish stouts the breweries have released that were very sweet and not dry Irish stouts. So I will give them props for that. So
For being on style and doing like just being exactly what you'd expect.
Exactly what I can order, knowing exactly what I'm gonna get. That's I would say that for me that's a lot.
Well, if you like dry Irish stouts and you want to know exactly what you're gonna get, this is the beer for you.
Well, after having that dry Irish stout, my palate is totally cleansed.
Time to wreck it with this Alpha Mosaic Double IPA coming in at 8.5%. It's gonna wreck that palate.
Ooh.
And while I pour this beer, John's got something to tell you.
I'm going to talk to you about Hop Hero Homebrew Supply. If you've not heard about Hop Hero Homebrew Supply, they sell supplies for not only making beer, pouring beer. If you have a draft set up at home and you want to, you know, take it to that next level and have not only commercial beers but home brews on tap, you can. They sell supplies like that. They sell anything you can think of for draft equipment, flavoring equipment. If you need CO2 or CO2 regulators, there's a huge array for you to choose from. Check them out at www.hophero.com. Thank you.
It's my go-to place for all brewing equipment. Highly recommend it. All right, let's take a look at this beer.
Look at that color.
It's got a really nice color. I really like, you know, it looks like the other hazy, just really golden, hazy. I mean, this isn't a hazy, but it's definitely not clear.
Yeah, it's definitely an unfiltered IPA. It's not a hazy beer, but it's got a little bit of a fog going on to it, but a nice, you know, kind of yellow color to
I
it.
see some particulates floating around in there too.
Yeah,
kind of suspended
it has some suspended particulates, probably a little bit of hop debris. It could be yeast. It is an unfiltered double IPA.
That looks more like yeast, but yes.
But it does have a great aroma on it, though.
Oh yeah, second we pop that can open, I smell it.
It smells a little more resinous in it, where it's got kind of a like a pine needle, tangerine kind of smell.
What's cool about this this can is that it's got the recipe on the back as well. The only hops they use are Mosaic, and it tells you the original gravity, the final gravity, the malts they use, the IBU, and the SAM.
The SRM. SRM is actually the color. So the color on this, I'm guessing, is between a 4 and a 6. You know?
It is a 5.
Oh, see, there we go.
Between a 4 and a 6, exactly.
It's kind of a straw color. But it's a little bit foggy because it is an unfiltered beer. But with that much information on the back, a home brewer like me could figure out how to make this beer, so it is actually very helpful. Again, the aroma is great. I am going to go straight into tasting this one.
Let's do it. Oh, that's really good. Really resinous. Oh, It's a bit too resinous for me, to be honest. But I am getting, that resin. You know, it's kind of just overpowered, in my opinion, by the resin.
I kind of actually really, really like it. I miss this in beer. I miss those days when IPAs were trying to blow your face off with how resinous and how bitter they could be. This isn't that high. It's got a lot of good fruit, like kind of chewy mango flavor in there, but it also has lots of layers of thick resin and pine needles and bitterness. It's great.
I taste the pine in there. Unlike John, I do not miss the days where every IPA was more brutal than the last. I think that was just kind of a show of who has the most burned out taste buds. I think it's an okay beer. I really do. Like I'm gonna say my rating right now. I'd finish the glass.
See, I would probably get maybe a second pint of it, only because I am getting like a little bit of alcohol on this. We did serve this ice cold, but I'm getting just
it's hot.
A little bit of heat on there. And for the double IPAs we've had lately, and we even had a triple not that long ago.
No heat.
No heat, super smooth, super easy drinking. This is just kind of like, it's resin. It's got some juicy mango character in there. And then it's kind of hot, where it's kind of burning me on the way down.
Yeah, 100%.
But so far, that hazy, that dry Irish Stout have been on point. Thanks,
So good.
Jackrabbit Brewing Company.
Yeah, that hazy. That's my winner for today. That hazy. Enjoy the dry Irish. Love the hazy.
Yes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell. Leave a comment. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us if you know about these beers and if you can find them.
And hey, talk to us about what you've brewed at home. We talked a bit about, we're both home brewers. Talk to us in the comments about what you might have brewed at home, some hazy you might have drinking recently, anything. Just say hi. If you're lonely, just come say hi.